Alright, so today we are talking about simple binary ions. Your topic is simple binary. And your goal, I can name simple binary compounds. The steps for writing a simple binary ion compound are as follows. So first, you need to write the charges for the elements that you are combining. Then you crisscross those charges and simplify if needed. The element that is a metal or a positive charge is written first. Now look at the net charge to see if they equal out. The end compound does not have to have the charge written out. You just need to know how many of each element you have. So I'm going to do some examples on writing simple binary ionic compounds when given the elements. So how you name compounds. So the metal name goes first, followed with the name with the ion name of the nonmetal. So for example, if you have NaCl, well, in order to first figure out what your compound is going to be, you find the charge of Na, which is +1, find the charge of Cl, which is -1, crisscross that, and you get NaCl. And then, so Na, we know, is sodium. So you would just write sodium down for Na. Cl is chlorine. Now, we know things with a negative charge, the ion name ends in IDE. So instead of chlorine, it would be chloride. So the name of that compound would be sodium chloride. All right, so I'm now going to do some examples of going from the compound to the name, or how to name those compounds. All right, so we're going to practice simple binary. So first, I want to go over how to name compounds. So you'll be given the compound and what it looks like, and you'll use this to write out the name. So for this, you just figure out what element this first one is. In this case, Li is lithium, and you write that down. Then you figure out what the second element is, which in this case is chlorine, and that second element just needs to end in IDE. So that would be lithium chloride. So the first element, you just write the element out. The second one, it's the element, it just ends in IDE. So for example, K2O. K we know is potassium, so you would just write down potassium. And then O is oxygen, but it needs to end in IDE, so it would be potassium oxide. Now, how do you go from the name to the compound? So here we have potassium sulfide. So first we find out, so potassium we know is K. Then you look at the periodic table and figure out which column it's in, and that'll tell you what charge it is. So here we see that K is in this first column right there, so that means it will have a +1 charge. So K will be +1. Sulfide, that is just sulfur, and we know that because you look at the main part, whatever element that's talking about. So then you find sulfur on the periodic table, which is right there, and that will be a -2 charge because it goes +1, +2, +3, ±4, -3, -2, -1. So since sulfur's right there, it'll be a -2 charge. So then you crisscross your charges. This 1 will go with the S at the bottom, and this 2 will go with the K at the bottom. So that'll be K2S. So that is how you would write the compound for potassium sulfide. Now, if I give you another example, magnesium oxide. So magnesium we know is Mg. We find it on the periodic table. It is right here with a +2 charge, so we write +2. Oxide, you look at the main part, oxy, well we know that's oxygen. Then you find oxygen on the periodic table right here, and it is a -2. Okay, then we crisscross. This 2 goes with the oxygen. This 2 goes with magnesium, so Mg2O2. But that is not completely correct. These 2's, since they're both 2, it can be simplified to just MgO. So that would be magnesium oxide. If you need more examples or need me to walk through any other simple binary questions, just send me an email and I'll be happy to help. On slide 6, you can see the practice for this. The first half, you have the name, so you'll have to find the charge of each of those elements and crisscross them to make the compound. And then the bottom half, I give you the compound, and you have to write out the name. So if you need extra help, you can go back in the video and go over the examples. If you need more examples, just send me a message or email, and I'll be happy to help you out with that.